Scott Adams says that there is a simple formula that we can follow that will allow us to stand out professionally and be unique. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down a theory that I discovered in Scott Adams's book, How to Fail at Almost Everything and Still Win Big. Since a young age, we're usually told that we need to become the best at a particular thing so that we can, pass all of our exams and get a good career in a specific subject. Now, over the last 20, 30 years, that's kind of changed a little bit because of the power of the internet and the leverage that it applies. So this theory now that we've been taught and programmed since a young age is now starting to look a little bit untrue. The path to being the best in your career, the top 1%, is incredibly difficult. It is an uphill battle. You're going to need to work hard, you're going to need to have connections, and a lot of the time you're going to need to have luck. And a lot of the times you can have all of those three things and still not become the top 1% in your chosen career. People have their own unfair advantages, and sometimes no matter how hard that we work, sometimes we'll just never be able to reach that level. Luckily, there is something else that we can do, and this is what Scott Adams calls his talent stack. This is essentially where you will take complementary skills and you will merge them together to allow you to stand out and be more uniquely qualified. So before I go ahead and show you how Scott Adams explains how to build an incredible talent stack, I think it's kind of important that we go ahead and we look at him as a person. He's someone who's done so many different things that has created his own talent stack that now has allowed him to amass a net worth of over $75 million. Scott Adams is the writer and illustrator of Dilbert, a popular comic strip. He publicly admits that he's not the best artist, writer, or comedian in the world. He says he's just a little better than the average at each of these individual skills. What he did have is a strong work ethic, a sense of humor, some writing skills, and some drawing skills. Individually, these skills are common, but together they become dangerous. They became his talent stack. So Scott Adams has a strong work ethic. He is a little bit of a writer, and he's pretty good at drawing, and he has an experience in business. It was all of these individual skills that combined to create the comic book Dilbert. Individually, all of these skills are common, and people usually spend their entire careers trying to become an artist or to become successful in business or to become a writer or a comedian or stand-up comedian, and usually a lot of people fail in those artistic kind of ventures. But together he combined them, and his skill set became dangerous because it allowed him to stand out uniquely and presented him with the opportunity that he sees with both hands, and has allowed him to have this huge worldwide comic book strip that's been so successful to this day. Scott Adams has said that the idea of a talent stack is you can only combine ordinary skills until you have enough of the right kind to be extraordinary. You don't have to be the best in the world at any one thing. All you need to do to succeed is to be good at a number of skills that fit well together. So how can we build our own talent stacks? A couple of things that you can do is you need to ask yourself, what are your talents, your skills, your interests? Where do you find yourself being curious and passionate? It may take a little bit of time to work out what those things mean for you, what you're actually good at, and also what the world wants from you. What can you actually provide to them? Once you're in that sweet spot, that's kind of where you then need to pay your attention, because that's where your talent stack is going to be. It's also worth remembering, what is your end goal? What's the North Star? What's the thing that you're wanting to go to? Is it because you want to, climb up the corporate ladder and become, a CEO of a mega company? Is it that you want to become a freelancer? You want to start your own business? What is your end goal? Because that is going to determine what it is your talent stack is going to be built around. So you really need to think clearly about what it is that you want and what's actually going to help you get there. And that's how you can then look at your talent stack and find the things that are going to make you unique within that industry. Scott Adams says that you really need to embrace this mindset that is a talent stack, and you need to be patient with it, because this is not an overnight thing. Obviously, learning all of these individual things is going to take time, but he says, if you can get yourself to being just above average on all of them, you're immediately going to start seeing those results. And just as you have that patience, and over time you're going to get dramatically better, you're going to see that the results are going to pay off. Some of my favorite talent stacks that I've seen out there that I'm going to read to you is code and AI. So learning about machine learning and artificial intelligence. That with coding is obviously a great talent stack. Another one is sales and design, storytelling and data analytics. That's very useful because you can tell a story with data and actually give meaning to the numbers. It's not just going to be numbers on a screen. You can actually be very good there when it comes to things like, you know, presentations in business. That's a very useful talent stack that you can develop. Another one is code and design, design and marketing, for example, is another one. You know, then you can also then take those two and add a third to your talent stack, like becoming a lawyer or a doctor. You know, you've got a real estate agent, an engineer, all of these different kind of things applied with knowing how to market or how to do design. All of those things are just going to allow you to become that little bit more unstoppable, and you're going to stand out and be, you know, head above so many of the others in your industry that you're competing against. Scott Adams says that we shouldn't really be rushing to become the best at any particular one. He says that what you want to do is you want to develop these until you are above average and you're in that top 25% for each of these complementary skills. He says you don't really want to be a jack of all trade, master of none, and you don't just want to be a master of one either. He says you want to slowly become a master at all of these, which is going to take time, but that's why he says, you know, you should really focus on sharpening those skills over time and just be patient with it. So I thought it'd also be kind of interesting to talk about my personal talent stack, the one that I'm developing. So I have digital marketing. That for me is sort of a big one that I've been focusing on the last few years. You know, social media, email, SEO, and PPC, and sort of building a community on this YouTube channel and all of my social media. You know, digital marketing is one of those skills that if you understand it, it can impact every different kind of role, experience, project, anything that you kind of do in the future, because it's all about, you know, bringing people to you, but through providing them with value. And if you know how to do all of these things online, you're just going to allow yourself to be in such a better position, especially if you're someone who wants to freelance or create your own business in the future, which I really want to. The second is content creation. This is sort of the base of my talent stack, I guess you could say. I started off, you know, learning how to be a photographer. I knew how to, you know, film videos, how to edit, how to create animations, graphics, all of this sort of design, all of these different things that come with content creation is really useful. And when you pair that with being able to be a marketer, you're in a much better spot, because for me, when I've applied to jobs, I tend to be above everyone else, because not only can I market their business, but I can also provide all of the actual content assets and can tweak things on the fly that a lot of other marketers can't do. And the reverse is true. The people who can create things and be video editors or just photographers, they can't do the marketing side, and they need to hire someone else to do that, or they can't even get into marketing jobs because they don't have that experience. Whereas I have both. And the third and final part of my talent stack that I'm currently developing, and I would say is probably my weakest, which is why I'm developing it, is sort of online business. I'm really interested in building platforms and communities and side projects, all of these kind of little things that can essentially grow and become their own business and generate money. I'm really into sort of like passive income, and that's sort of something that I really want to look at going forwards. And so me learning about all of these things, being able to identify trends and sort of learning how to use that with my marketing skills and my content creation skills is obviously going to help so much more in building those online businesses. You know, and I'm starting off quite small with just sort of building a community on Instagram, for example, like Yeezy Thoughts. I've made videos there where I grew that account to something like 15,000 followers in 90 days. That largely came around because of my marketing experience, and also because of my content creation skills. It allowed me to stand out and grow that sort of that Instagram account very quickly, and now I've started to generate money from it. And you know, this is just something where I'm going to build upon it. That's my personal talent stack. So building your talent stack is obviously very important. You don't want to be stuck in this zero-sum game where you're trying to compete against everyone else. Everyone's going to have their unfair advantages. Everyone else is going to have better connections than you. And everyone's going to have different kinds of luck and situations, being in the right place, you know, at the right time. All of these things are things that you're going to be fighting against. And you could be the lucky one, maybe you will be the unlucky one. There's absolutely no way of knowing. But through, you know, ensuring that you're unique through combining all of these different skills to develop your talent stack, you're actually being more practical and action driven, because you're going out there and you're actually putting your mark on the world, rather than allowing yourself to sort of be more passive and sort of try and work your way up the corporate ladder within this one particular career. This is so much more exciting, I feel like, as well, because you are building your own path. You are going down and you are exploring on your own, rather than trying to go down this one path that thousands, millions, billions of people have gone down in the past, and it's just kind of not always worked out for a lot of people how they they initially thought it would. Knowing how to learn anything fast is actually very useful when it comes to developing your talent stack. Recently, I read a book called The 4-Hour Chef by Tim Ferriss, where he breaks down 2 frameworks that we can use to allow us to learn anything at a rapid pace. If you want to watch that video, you can click the link right here or the link in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video. Have a great day.